Hopolang Silabalo, who's Equal Education's Head of Research, joins me now. Ms. Silabalo, a very good afternoon to you. Thanks indeed for your time. First of all, let me get your reaction to that medium-term budget policy statement.
Good afternoon, Griselda, and thank you so much for having me. We are disappointed by what was announced by the new Minister of Finance relating to projections regarding allocations to the basic education budget for the next while. Government has said time and again that basic education is an apex priority, but this is clearly not illustrated or manifesting in the way that money is allocated to the sector. In a recent position paper that we released a few days ago, we show trends that highlight that there have been the basic education budget has been deprioritized, and for the possibly the first time this year, we see that for the next 2 years, the sector's budget is actually being reduced in nominal terms. So it does not even account for inflation at all. The departments are actually getting less money, and this is probably the first time we see this. This obviously has all kinds of implications on the sector, particularly during this time.
I mean, what impact have the budget cuts had on schools? I guess also exacerbated by the provisions that needed to be made to cover those COVID-19 costs.
So education was one of the sectors that was seen as a donor department in last year's supplementary budget, as opposed to being a frontline department. So donor departments basically had money extracted to fund COVID essentials for what is termed frontline departments. But we believe fully that education is a frontline service. That is where learners access school nutrition, psychosocial support. Schools are also a part of a community and should be funded as such. And the implications of those cuts, as you mentioned earlier, means that school infrastructure projects were delayed, that money towards the school nutrition program remains the same. It remains the same with this MTBPS as well. So there's no additional money given for school meals, despite the Department of Basic Education saying that it's going to cost more to provide learners with school meals in the time of COVID because of rotational timetabling. And another alarming factor is that there's been a freeze on teacher posts, so compensation to employees. And even National Treasury admits that this will lead to overcrowded classrooms. So we are dealing with rotational timetabling where learners are not in classrooms all the time. We're dealing with fuller classrooms. So it is quite a dire situation for the sector.
I want to talk a bit about that research paper. I mean, what did it reveal about spending per learner and how the quality of education has been affected?
Right. So we've seen that there's been a decline in spending per learner over the last possibly 10 years or so. And the learner population continues to grow, but government is not funding that adequately, which means that learners obviously are not getting the materials that they need, such as learner-teacher support material. It impacts on the maintenance of schools. So you may even find that infrastructure, sanitation is provided in schools, for example, or water is provided in schools, but schools can't maintain that infrastructure because there's less money to go towards that. And yes, and it has all other kinds of implications. And of course, it's going to definitely impact learning outcomes. And again, even National Treasury acknowledged in this MTBPS that it will have, the budget is going to have implications on learning outcomes.
Hopolang Silabalo, thank you very much for joining us, Equal Education's Head of Research.